Jai Baba, Chapter 43. As mentioned before, after Baba's 3-day Samadhi, first Malsapati and then after a while, Tatya began to spend every night with Baba Sai in Masjidai. Baba and his 2 disciples, cum friends, made sure that none of them slept virtually through the night. This was Baba's way of helping them to be in constant remembrance of God. For Baba, not sleeping much meant more time being in awareness of God, being in gratitude of God's glory, and being filled with the Creator's energy and presence. He would often indicate that if a person spent time just alone, chanting the name on and off, drop by drop, the ocean would fill. Then, one day it began to pour in Shirdi. It rained so heavily that a number of Shirdi villagers felt as though their simple dwellings would be washed away by the gushing rains. Many feared for Baba's safety, as Dwarkamai was then a very humble structure which could easily collapse by such torrential rainfall. The old masjid was made mainly of mud and its floor was covered with cow dung. It was a small structure unlike the one that is now in Shirdi. The strong winds brought the rain into Masjidai, and Baba was concerned only about protecting the perpetual fire burning. There was no way that he would allow the holy fire to be extinguished. The water had slowly begun to collect in the courtyard of the mosque, and all those present within pleaded with Baba to move to Chavadi, the rest house, which was not more than 20 or 30 feet adjacent. There was a lane that separated Masjidai and Chavadi. In between both the sacred structures, to the left, down the lane, was Baba's favorite Lord Hanuman in a temple, which was next to a huge tree. The people began to plead with Baba to shift to Chavadi. Baba kept refusing. He was never in favor of any kind of change. He loved his routine. He liked things as they were, and however old and dilapidated the mosque was, he was happy within her womb and comfortable with the familiarity of everything within. After a while, when the clamoring of people grew, Baba did what he did best. He began to abuse one and all. It became obvious to everybody present that to convince Baba to leave Dwarkamai was going to be a Herculean task. Eventually, Narayan Teli could no longer stand seeing Baba all drenched. Baba wasn't exactly old, but after Baba had dropped his body for 3 days, the very thought of something happening to him again scared the simple villagers witless. He was their Lord and Master. He was their home and refuge. He was the healer and medicine. He was all relationships rolled into one. Thus, Narayan Teli approached Baba, apologized for what he was about to do, and quickly picked Baba up, put him on his shoulders, and Narayan Teli ran for his life with Baba on his shoulders to Chavadi. Narayan Teli ran as though he was possessed, and all that while Baba kept abusing one and all. All the others stood with mouths agape, not believing what their good man Teli had truly done. Once within the safe confines of Chavadi, Baba cooled down, patted Teli, and then henceforth, every alternate night, Baba began to sleep in Chavadi. In Chavadi, Baba slept on the right side of the room while the others would sleep in the other room. A detailed account of the Chavadi has been given in the following chapters. Abdul had arrived a year after Baba's first Samadhi, but he was not given lodging or boarding by Baba. He was made to fend for himself. So this is how our Baba began to spend every alternate night at Chowdi. Baba would often narrate the incident and tell one and all that Teli, that haramkhor, that rascal, just picked me up and ran like a shaitan. Another interesting thing to note is that when Baba, Mahalsapati and Tatya spent their night in the mosque, only Lakshmi Mai or Lakshmi Ma, as Baba Sai fondly called her, was allowed to enter at night. She was beloved to Baba. She eventually served Baba for 45 years, and when Baba took his final Samadhi, she was the last one to be with him. She loved him dearly, and Lakshmi Ma was allowed access to Baba anytime and at any place. In fact, later, when the crowds of devotees would grow tremendously, Baba would still give a special place of honor and love to Lakshmi Ma. He would call for kheer, take a few bites, and through her hands make the kheer reach Radha Krishna Mai, who loved kheer and would only eat what Baba sent to her as prasad. One day, Baba told Mahalsapati that everybody, especially Radha Krishna Mai, was troubling him by insisting on making repairs to Masjid-I. He was against any change and did not approve of the renovation of his humble mosque. He said, "You know me, Bhagat. I am not much for change. Simplicity, familiarity, and routine comfort me. It lets me focus on what should be truly permanent and the changes that are really needed for each individual, which are anyway internal and not external." You see that fellow standing there? Yes, Baba. His name is Nana. Nana Chandorkar was new to Baba then, but later on became one of Baba's most loved disciples. Personally witnessing many miracles performed by Baba, especially when a horse carriage materialized in the middle of the night, hundreds of miles away from Shirdi, to bring the holy ash at Nana's doorstep. Today, standing outside the mosque, Nana was still a newcomer in Baba's fold. Baba said, "Arey Bhagat, this Nana wants to work on our Masjid-I and wants to virtually reconstruct our mosque, as everybody feels that this mosque has become very old and he wants to make it pakka, strong," he said. "What do you think, Bhagat? Should we allow changes to be made to our Masjid-I? Do you also feel she requires change?" "Baba, let him do what he wants. He can't change the essence, as that is you and a holy fire. The walls and floors do not make Dwarka Mai. You and your energy and presence and our fire makes the essence, and my Sai, we will be able to sit and sleep a little more comfortably." Baba lit the chillam, muttered abuses galore, chuckled, smiled, nodded, giving his permission. Peace be to all. Baba Sai keep us in his abode, his heart, his love for eternity. Jai Sai.